Hi, welcome back to Sophie's Books, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through my September book haul. September was a really great month for new releases, so I've got some great ones here for you. And then also I will be doing some unboxing of my book subscription boxes. So up first we have They Own the Night by Amy McCaw. This is a 1980s Dracula retelling. I love Dracula, it's one of my favourite classics, so I'm always really happy to find new retellings and new takes on the story. So I was really excited to see that Amy McCaw was bringing this out. So Amy McCaw is also author of Mina and the Undead series, and that's a trilogy based in New Orleans, and there's vampires, vampire slayers, and it's got very much the 90s vibe that Buffy has. Amy McCaw is a very big fan of Buffy. I think the Dracula character is inspired by Spike from Buffy. Yeah, Buffy is one of my favourite TV series, so I'm really excited to read this book. Next up, I have a book that I picked up at Strawberry Hill House near Twickenham when I went for a flower exhibition recently. And the author of this is actually the guy who lived in that house. Now, I'd never heard of him before and I hadn't heard of this book, but it's The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole. So this is apparently the first supernatural English novel and one of the most influential works of Gothic fiction. So this really intrigues me. I'm really interested to see how this sparks the start of Gothic fiction. I'd never heard of this before, so I'm hoping to get to this at some point during the spooky season. It's quite short, so I'm hoping to squeeze that in somewhere. So next up, I have one of the first ever books that I've received from a publisher, so that's really exciting. This was sent to me by Penguin, and it's The Healing Season of Pottery, written by Yeon, Somin. This was originally written in Korean and was translated into English by Claire Richards. So the author is a prize-winning Korean author. I'm really interested to see what this one is about. So it says here that young Min is burnt out by her job. She abruptly quits, and then she's worked tirelessly for years, and it's time to make a change. So she ventures out into the streets of Seoul and she stumbles upon the Soyo Pottery Workshop. Drawn in by its light and warmth and the smell of clay and coffee, young Min feels something unfurl within her. This sounds amazing. This sounds great for the cozy season. It's a story of new friends and old practices, of finding community, and of what happens when you finally slow down in this fast-paced world. That sounds right up my street. So I'm looking forward to reading that at some point. So next up we have Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. So I picked this up at the Samantha Shannon event recently. This is a prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree, and it fits between A Day of Fallen Night and Priory of the Orange Tree. I think Samantha Shannon said it's meant to be a shorter edition in the series if you want to get started with the series, but I'm really intimidated by the larger books. So this one is set in the same universe. I'm not sure whereabouts in the timeline it's set, but it says it has been centuries since the Draconic army took wing, almost extinguishing humankind. Medusa Vitelda is a prisoner in her own home, controlled by her cold father, King Sigoso. Over the mountains, her betrothed, Obric Llewellyn, rules Mentendom in all but name. Together they intend to usher in a better world. So I haven't read Priory of the Orange Tree, but I have recently read A Day of Fallen Night. That was a mammoth book. I did really enjoy that book, so I'm interested to read a shorter edition in the series and see what happens in this one. So next I have the first of the Greek mythology books. There were quite a few Greek mythology retellings that were released in September. So first up is Medusa by Rosie Hewlett. So Rosie Hewlett published this herself several years ago. I haven't read it yet. I read Medea either last year or the year before, and it is one of my favourite books. So I'm really excited to read Medusa, and it comes in a matching edition to Medea with the name down the side. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I read Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes as well recently, and that's a retelling of Medusa, so I'm interested to see Rosie's take on the Medusa tale. Next up we have a book that I was really excited to see that this was coming out, and this is Hekate, the Witch by Nikita Gill. So Nikita Gill is a very well-known poet. She has written quite a lot of poetry anthologies. I did read one several years ago about women in Greek myth and the goddesses, and I loved her style of poetry. I'm not really a massive reader of poetry. I do enjoy it occasionally, but it's not really something I pick up a lot. So what fascinates me most about this is I didn't know that it was actually written in verse. I thought this was a prose novel, but when I opened it up, I saw that there are bits of verse and the whole novel is written in verse. So despite not really reading a lot of poetry, I'm really intrigued by this to see how she manages to tell this story of Hekate throughout this book in verse. So this says it's an electrifying and engaging retelling of the life of Greek goddess Hekate, child of war, turned all-powerful goddess of witchcraft and necromancy, by internationally best-selling poet Nikita Gill. And I didn't realise, but this is the first book in the Goddesses of the Underworld trilogy. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this. And yeah, I can't wait to see what other books are coming out. I am also so pleased to get this edition. This has beautiful sprayed edges from Waterstones. Not sure when I'm gonna get around to reading this, but hopefully it will be very soon. So the next book is the last of the mythology retellings that I hauled in September, and this is No Friend to This House by Natalie Haynes. I went to the launch event for this book and saw Natalie Haynes talk about her inspiration for this novel. She also talked us through the plot of the play of Medea by Euripides. This is a retelling of the story of Jason and the Argonauts, and I think with a big focus on Medea. So as I said, I read Medea by Rosie Hewlett a couple of years ago. That was a retelling of Medea's story. And I also read Atalanta by Jennifer Saint, which again is a retelling of Jason and the Argonauts, but that was focusing on the character of Atalanta. So I'm really excited to see what Natalie Haynes has done with this story. I love how she weaves characters' stories together. So I'm expecting that this will be quite similar to her other novels, so I'm really excited about this. So then we have Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood. So again, I went to an event with Lucy Jane Wood for the launch of this book. I read Bewitched. I read her novel Rewitched in September and had a really great time with it. It was a very cozy vibe, very found family, and I'm expecting more of the same here. This is set in the world of Rewitched, but it's following different characters, but I do think there is some crossover between the two main characters. So this one I think follows Annie, who owns a bakery in London, and this is near to Luna Books, which is the bookshop that Belladonna worked in. I think Annie is very much a perfectionist and she uses her magic to keep everything perfect. So yeah, she devotes her powers to pleasing others, and even though her perfection exacts a magical toll, it's a price she's more than willing to pay. But then she's tasked by her coven with mentoring a troubled teenage witch. And then her existence is thrown into chaos. So yeah, Maeve is the teenage witch, and her and Annie couldn't be more different. And then we have Hal, who's the gruff but handsome owner of their temporary lodgings. And he is not best pleased to find the coven has offered up his woodland cottage to 2 headstrong witches. So yeah, this one sounds amazing. I can't wait to read this. If it's anything like Rewitched, it will be a really good read. And again, it's got a cat on the sprayed edge. I love what Waterstones have done with her 2 novels with the cats. I love cats. So yeah, cats and witchy books are a great combination for me. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this. So next up is a book from the Lot Library subscription box. Now, I didn't add this in the unboxing portion as I received this quite a few weeks ago, so I'd already opened it. But this is Mistress of Bones by Maria Zal Medina. This is a book I hadn't heard of until it came in this book box, so I'm quite intrigued. I love the purple colourway, it's my favourite colour, so done a great job with this cover. So in the Lot Library books we also get some beautiful end papers, and look at that cover art, it's just amazing. Oh, it's so pretty. And then the spine, the Lot Library always have the little key on the spine, so the keys should line up, which I think is a really nice touch. So yeah, I'm not sure what this one is about. Necromancer Azul de Arroyo will do anything to save her sister, even steal from Death himself. Angel, Lord Death's emissary, will do anything to stop her. Her very existence is blasphemy, no matter how alluring she might be. Yet their game of cat and mouse will draw them into a far deadlier one, alongside courtiers, their rapiers sharp and their wounds sharper, faceless witches, masked pretenders, and the very gods themselves. For long ago the gods raised the continents, binding them with their own bones to save humanity. But in an era where their sacrifice had been forgotten, death might not be the only god Azul must defy. That sounds really good. It's described as a transported dark fantasy readers will eagerly devour. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this. It sounds like one that I will really enjoy, so hopefully I will read that soon. So next is the sequel to A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Fazil. This one I read when it came out. I can't remember when that was now, either last year or the year before, but this is A Steeping of Blood. In A Tempest of Tea we followed Artie, who is an orphan. She also runs a secret tea house which doubles up as a vampire blood house. So in this world we have vampires, and I think from the first book, Alfie's tea house is threatened. There's a lot of vampires that are turning up dead and missing, and then Alfie joins together with a band of other misfits and she goes on a heist to procure a magical ledger which will help save her tea house and uncover the mysteries. I really enjoyed A Tempest of Tea and the world that Hafsah Fazil has created there. She also wrote the We Hunt the Flame duology, which I haven't read, but I've heard great things about. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens in the conclusion to this duology. And again, the cover is beautiful, matching purple. I love that. But I think I will probably have to read a full summary of what happened in the first book, as it's quite a while ago now and I can't remember everything that happened, so yeah, I'll probably have to do that before starting this book. And the last book in my haul before we get into the unboxing is one that I've had my eye on for a long time. This is The Witch and the Tsar by Olesya Salinikova Gilmore. Now, I happened to be in Goldsborough Books in Brighton when they'd received stock of this order, and I think these were specifically the Goldsborough sci-fi and fantasy subscribers. I'm not subscribed to that box, but I saw this edition and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. But I finally managed to get a copy of it and I only paid £5 on Vinted, so this was a really great find. I think this is a Baba Yaga retelling. So this is set in 16th century Russia. The Witch and the Tsar appends the stories we know of Baba Yaga as the bony-legged witch of Slavic fairy tales and the stuff of nightmares. For beyond the rumours of her iron nose, fangs for teeth, and house on chicken legs, is the story of a woman so wise and strong that she has to be cloaked in lies to hide her true power. I'm always very much interested in reading about mythology and folklore retellings, so I'm really excited about this. I did read one of her other books, The Haunting of Moscow House, I think it was called, and I didn't really have the greatest time with that book, so I'm hoping that this one will be a little bit better. But yeah, I'm interested to see if I will actually gel with this one and enjoy it as much as I'm expecting to. But yeah, I was really happy to find this. So now we have reached the unboxing portion of the video. So I have my FairyLoot Adult book box. I have the YA box with the book and the goodies, and I also have the Illumicrate monthly box. Now I just want to preface this by saying that I'm not sponsored by any of these book boxes. These are ones that I just purchased by myself. So I should just also say, if you don't want to be spoiled about the books and the boxes, then feel free to skip this section. So first up is the FairyLoot Adult book box, and I'm pretty sure that this one is alchemized, which is, I believe, based on fan fiction for a specific fandom. But yeah, let's see what they've done with this edition. So the theme is memory and malice, and yeah, this is alchemized by Samantha. So yeah, not exactly the most satisfactory packaging for a special edition. For a special edition book, but yeah, it looks like it's fine. So yeah, this is a gorgeous cover. Very different from the original. I think maybe the original cover is, yeah, so the original cover is on this, but in a red colourway. So yeah, this one looks very pretty. So this is the naked hardcover and the back. And then look at those spreads. They are just beautiful. And the character art. I'm not really sure about the plot of this one, so I'll read you some of the synopsis. Once a promising alchemist, Helena Marino is now a prisoner of war and of her own mind. Her resistance friends and allies have been brutally murdered, her abilities suppressed, and the world she knew destroyed. In the aftermath of a long war, Palladia's new ruling class of corrupt guild families are depraved necromancers whose vile undead creatures helped bring about their victory, holds Helena captive. According to Resistance records, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks, but Helena has an inexplicable memory loss of the months leading up to her capture, making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears, or are her lost memories hiding some vital piece of the Resistance final gambit? Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be my kind of thing, but it does sound amazing and I am excited to read it, although it is, how many pages? It is 961 pages, so I think it's going to be a while before I pick this one up. But there is massive hype surrounding this book, so yeah, I'll find out if it is adequately hyped or not. Next we have the YA box. Now this one comes also with some goodies inside, so I'm excited to see what we've got this month. So let's open this up. So here is the monthly spoiler card. So the theme is A Midnight Promise, and I'm going to see what we've got in here. So we have A Court of Mist and Fury, Starfall mug, Now, I haven't read this series, it's on my TBR, so hopefully I'll get to it at some point. But yeah, this is a mug. They do a lot of mugs and I'm not really sure what I'm going to end up doing with them, but yeah, this is pretty character art on there. And we also have, ooh, it's a tea light holder. So Once Upon a Broken Heart tea light holder. I've got quite a lot of these from book boxes, but it's those, it's just those metal little tea light holders that spin. Let's get that. Let's see what we're looking at here. So yeah, with the spinny thing. And here's the little spinnies. And let's have a look. Oh, these are really pretty. So yeah, these are from Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't know if you can see those very well. But there's a little fox and a little heart and arrow, and they link back to that book. So I've only read the first in that series. I haven't completed that one, but I did really enjoy it. Then next, oh, this looks very interesting. One Dark Window tarot album. Oh, that might come in handy. Yeah, so I don't know, if you don't subscribe to FairyLoot, you may not know that they include tarot cards in every YA box. So this, I'm guessing, is going to hold those. So I'd forgotten that this was the book that was in this box, and I'm so excited for this one. So I'll do the book in a second, but let's just do the monthly tarot cards. So we have the Lovers and the Chariot. The tarot cards. And then we also get the bookmark for the book. But the book is Never Ever After by Sulin Tan. Sulin Tan is fast becoming one of my favourite authors. She wrote Daughter of the Moon Goddess. So yeah, let's see what we've got. Oh, she's so pretty. Just look, this is beautiful. Oh, I love that colour. And then the sprayed edges. So yeah, I have FairyLoot editions of Sulin Tan's other books, and I was actually gonna pre-order this from Waterstones, but I'm glad I didn't now. Look at the beautiful character art. And then in the back as well. Oh, it's beautiful. Let's see what the hardback is. Oh, this is really pretty. So yeah, this is the naked hardback. This is a really beautiful edition. So I'm not sure what it's about, but I've really enjoyed Sulin Tan's other books. Sorry if the camera angle is different, but my battery ran out halfway through talking to you about this book. So yeah, Never Ever After by Sulin Tan. So this is a sweeping fantasy romance inspired by Cinderella and a Chinese fairy tale, and it's the first in a breathtaking new series by the acclaimed Sunday Times bestselling author of Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This sounds amazing. I can't wait to read it. It's just, oh, I love her writing so much. We also get this reverse dust jacket as well, which is very pretty. So yeah, I think this is a really good FairyLoot edition. So let's unbox the Illumicrate box. So here is the box. So the theme for September is Nightcore. And let's see what items we've got. So 9 for the Tomb bookmark set. So this is inspired by Gideon the Ninth. I haven't read this. But yeah, here are some bookmarks. Oh, they're double-sided. I don't know who any of these characters are. But yeah, but these are a beautiful set of bookmarks. The Illumicrate do quite a lot of specific fandom bookmarks. Not that I need any more bookmarks, but I love them. And then we have Lioness Rampant Cosmetics bag. I don't know what this is from. Inspired by Song of the Lioness Quartet. I haven't read that, so I don't know. But yeah, this looks like just a standard kind of cosmetics bag. Yeah. Do you like the pink and the green? That's pretty. And then, ooh, these look interesting. The 6 Omen bookshelf bunting inspired by the Knight and the Moth. So I think we need to make bookshelf bunting a thing. This looks so cool. I'm going to save those till later to go out. But this is inspired by The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, which I haven't read yet, but it is on my priority TBR for this year, so hopefully I will get to that soon. And then Illumicrate do a lot of sword replicas, so this is Excalibur sword replica based on the Legendborn cycle, which again I haven't read that. But yeah, I love these little swords, they're so cute. This one looks amazing. But yeah, I need to get my collection of these swords out on display somewhere. And then the book of the month is, into it, The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovalino. I don't know what this is about, I haven't heard a lot about it, but let's have a look. Love, Loyalty, Sacrifice. Grey Flynn has dedicated her life to her mage, Kia. She will be his blade on the battlefield, his healer and protector. The deep well of raw power inside her is Kia's to use. Grey would do anything for Kia, be anything for him, if he would only ask. When a quest to protect the child of an enemy kingdom pulls them into the dangerous heart of the nation's war, Grey and Kia will need to decide what they are willing to sacrifice to protect their secret. For Grey is no ordinary magical well, but heir to the lost island of Locke, the root of all power. If she dies, all magic dies with her. Ooh, that sounds great. So this is described as a devastatingly romantic epic fantasy about the undying bond between a knight and their mage. So perfect for fans of Gideon the Ninth and the 6 Deaths of the Saint. I haven't read those, so I don't know. But yeah, this is really intriguing. So here we have the naked hardback. It's different on the back. There's no reverse dust jacket art. I don't think Illumicrate tend to do a lot of those. But yeah, the green sprayed edges. And then we do have some character art in here. And then in the back, that looks amazing. So yeah, that is the last of the unboxing. I think in terms of the book box editions, I'm gonna say that Never Ever After is my favourite. I think this really is one of the best that FairyLoot have done for a while. And then for the other books that I hold, I'm most excited to get to Hekate by Nikita Gill. So I'm going to put that on my priority TBR, potentially we'll add it into October's. So yeah, that is everything I hold in September. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like it. And if you'd like to see more content from me, then please do subscribe. See you next time. Bye.